What's up, guys? Thanks for tuning in. All right, the sooner we talk about last night's game, the sooner we can talk about tonight's lineup against the same team, the Toronto Maple Leafs, because as we know, bit of a clunker, bit of a snoozer last night, all right? But before we even get to talking about last night's game, which it will be very brief, it will be in one take. I have a lot of energy. I went to the gym today for the first time in a long time. Wow, I can't believe I actually got all through that, and it kind of made sense, I think. Anyway, yeah, I got some energy from this morning. I'm just running on fumes. Get back to the gym, kids. It's good for you. Hopefully I actually keep going and I can keep myself accountable. All right. So Joshua Waugh, before the game, Joshua Waugh doing a "you can't see me" John Cena on the bench. I don't know. It was a fun clip. There wasn't much entertainment value from this game, so I'm just trying to make it a little more entertaining for you guys today, okay? And then Owen Beck sliding underneath the referee here, and my gosh, give the refs some credits for having to be athletes. These guys got to work out, and they have a long season as well. So that was a fun clip fun couple of clips to show you guys. All right, so we're also going to talk about tonight's lineup against the Leafs, which is going to be much better. And for some reason, the Leafs still aren't icing majority of their stars. No Matthews, no Marner, no Nylander. Okay, I guess no Domi. But that being said, they are going to ice some of their veteran defensemen, et cetera, et cetera. You know who they are. Do I have to go through them? I'm not going to. Okay. Anyway, we're going to talk about last night's game first, guys. So Caden Primo still not tested greatly. I mean, he still made some good saves. I thought he played decently well, but we'll get to the Habs power play or penalty kill in a second. We're doing this in one take today, guys, because as you know, that game wasn't much to speak of. But in terms of Caden Primo, he had a decent game, but I still didn't feel like he was tested against enough top-tier NHL talent yet. So I would like to see that before the preseason's over. Are we going to get that chance in Montreal's last two games against Ottawa and Toronto? I don't know, but I really hope so, because Primo needs a few more good reps, I feel like, before the preseason is out. Justin Barron had a pretty tough night. As you guys saw, the puck was skipping over his stick like it was just not meant to be there. And he had a tough night, surely. But you know what? This is when you can have tough nights. It doesn't matter. It's just preseason. Logan Mailloux had a bit of a tough night again, right? He's going to go to Laval and he's going to develop. I think Justin Barron will, I don't know if he's going to make the Canadiens, but I'm not convinced he's not going to yet. But I don't think I saw enough from Lindstrom tonight. That was my first time seeing him on the right side defense. And I saw him keep the puck going, keep the puck deep on a couple cycles for the Canadiens. Didn't really see him do too much that either stood out in a great way. I mean, I just didn't really notice him too much personally in that game. Going forward, Joshua Waugh, a lot of people still liked his game. I thought he looked good. He's poised with the puck. Mike Johnson actually had some interesting analysis based on all of the games that he saw Joshua Waugh play in the World Junior Tournament last year, where he had, as we know, a very good tournament. And he's always on the puck, he said. But at the NHL level, a lot harder to stay on the puck, right? Because the game moves so fast, the skill level is a lot higher. But Josh is still looking pretty decent, and he's going to get a look with the Canadiens this year. It's very clear, based on the way he's playing, that he most likely will. Not the fastest skater, but he is still a very, much a skill guy, right? And hopefully he can continue to work on his skating. He's still very young. The top player in all of junior hockey 2 years ago, right? So, I mean, hopefully that can still just keep growing. I think it will. I think a lot of you guys have been noticing him more. I'm not noticing him as much as some people say. Maybe it's just different perspectives, but I think there's definitely potential for Joshua Waugh. And I'm looking forward to seeing him get more reps with the Canadiens this season. As for Owen Beck as well, my buddy Owen, I don't know why I call him my buddy. We're not friends. I interviewed him one time and I never shut up about it. Anyways, Owen had a nice sequence in the first period, I believe it was, generated a couple scoring chances, was on the ice at the end of the game, which I liked, and almost helped tie the game for the Canadiens. That did not happen, but you know what? He's getting good reps once again in the preseason here. I would still like some of these guys that are potentially future Montreal Canadiens to get more reps against top-tier players, but you can't throw them into the lion's den too quickly. You want them to get reps whenever and wherever they can against whoever they have to play against. Tanner Pearson, I like Tanner Pearson. I got to say that, he didn't do much like in terms of like, wow, standout offensive plays, but you just see that veteran playing style that he has. I think he's going to be a solid piece for the Canadiens, whether we flip him at the trade deadline or not. I think Tanner Pearson is going to be playing as many games as possible with the Canadiens. And I like his positional play. I think he's smart. He likes to drive down the middle. He likes to, get to the dirty areas, if you will, kind of like Brendan Gallagher. Now, there was some criticism of Brendan Gallagher's game last night. I heard some folks saying, I'm not even going to name them. I just don't feel like giving them the time of day right now. However, I don't understand how you would have a take that Brendan Gallagher isn't able to play at the NHL pace last night. It was NHL preseason hockey. And at the end of the game, when the game got tight and they tried to tie it, Gally looked fine, I thought. He looked okay. He had some sequences where he didn't look the greatest or the fastest, or, made some not so great plays on the power play, because he is a power play guy, but he's more of a net front guy, and he's up near the point in some sequences. So I just think it's an overreaction to suggest that Brendan Gallagher is not able to play at the pace of today's NHL in a preseason game against non-top tier talent. He's not giving it his 100%, in my opinion. I don't think some of the veteran guys are. Josh Anderson and Sean Monahan aren't looking to me like they're giving it their absolute all, but they're still able to contribute out there and play well because they're smart veteran NHL players, and so is Brendan Gallagher. So I just don't see that there. But Josh Anderson getting the only goal in this game at the end of the game on a nice feed from Sean Monahan from behind the net. Now I want to talk about the Leafs for a second, because it was very, very clear that Matthew Knies and Nick Robertson were actually the best players on the Leafs by far. They were creating some pretty cool stuff out there. And the fact that Matthew Knies is only 20 years old is pretty amazing. So if I'm a Leafs fan, I definitely am encouraged by the fact that Matthew Knies is a Toronto Maple Leafs draft pick. You got time for him to develop, and they're talking about having him be in the top 6 already this year. He's a fun player to watch. I enjoy watching him, to be honest with you. And Nick Robertson too. I like the way he plays. Tyler Bertuzzi was in the game last night. He wasn't playing with the top tier guys that he's going to, and potentially Matthews and Marner replacing Michael Bunting on the first line this season. So I think you're going to see a lot more of Tyler Bertuzzi once you get in games with those top talents like Matthews and Marner, etc. Beyond those guys, they stood out most for the Leafs, I thought, and good for Connor Timmins as well, having a great preseason. There was a bunch of posts hit tonight. Connor Timmins was one of them, and fortunately those didn't beat Caden Primo entirely, but they did partially beat him. But anyway, I thought those guys stood out for the Leafs as far as I'm concerned. And Yoel Armia on the power play. Don't worry, we're not going to have to see much more of it. Just calm down, guys. All right. So Yoel Armia, we know Armia. I still think we need him in terms of depth for this Canadiens team this season. We still need him. Let's see him in the regular season before we critique him too much. He didn't look that bad, I didn't think, overall. He's just not a power play guy, okay? Let's just make that clear. He should not be in Cole Caulfield's position on the power play. All right, we know that. All right, so let's just jump right into tonight's lineup. Let's talk about it, because it's going to be way more fun to watch. It's probably going to be a win for the Canadiens against this Leafs lineup, because, again, not icing their top-tier players, but Caulfield, Suzuki, Newhook on the first line. We're going to get to see it tonight, so I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be a fun line to watch, to see if those guys are going to be the top line. We're going to see if Alex Newhook is going to gel really well with Nick Suzuki and Cole Caulfield. I'll be surprised if they don't have some fast pace. There's going to be some up and down rushes on that line. There's going to be some unique, fun sequences, hopefully, some creative sequences, some offense, and some goals and assists from that line, hopefully. Kirby Dach remaining at center with Raphael Harvey-Pinard and Juraj Slavkovsky on the right tonight. And I believe they played the other night as well. From what I remember, I do believe that's the case. And they want to see what Kirby Dach has at center. Sean Monahan might be the guy on the top line at the end of the day when the season starts, with Nick Suzuki and Cole Caulfield, if the Alex Newhook line matching doesn't work out, or they may interchange it, I think, because you can't keep Monahan and Kirby Dach at center, because you're not going to have Sean Monahan as your third line center, nor are you going to have Kirby Dach as your third line center, I don't think. Anyways, skipping to the third line, we got Emil Heineman, who had a nice couple chances in his last game. He'll be on the left side of Riley Kidney and Liam Anderson on the right-hand side, who's also had a pretty good preseason, as we know. Michael Pezzetta drawing back in the lineup on the fourth line with Mayette and Sean Farrell on the right-hand side. And then defensively, Justin Barron is going to have an opportunity to redeem himself tonight. So I kind of like that, because he didn't have a great game last night. We all know that. We all saw that. Matthias Norlinder is going to be potentially playing with Justin Barron, and Norlinder looked pretty decent in the last game, and a guy who, again, I mentioned, has not had a chance to get a lot of reps, and he's been injury riddled for a better part of 2 to 3 seasons as part of this Montreal Canadiens franchise. Caden Gooley and David Reinbach are going back together, as they played well together against Ottawa the other night. On your third pairing, William Trudeau and Jonathan Kovacevic, with most likely Samuel Montembeault getting the start. Jacob Dobesh will back him up. All right, guys, so let's look forward to a much more entertaining game offensively, especially. As you can tell, I got the Andre Markov jersey on. We're missing a power play quarterback because Lane Hudson is not here yet. Next year, he will be. As for will he be in the starting lineup, I don't know, but he'll be signed in less than a year from now in the springtime, in my opinion. All right, that's all I got for you guys. Let's enjoy this game tonight. It's going to be a lot better than the last one last night. It was a bit of a dud. So enjoy. We'll see you then, guys. Talk to you soon.